From Charlotte, North Carolina, welcome to the PLL on ESPN, presented by Champion. Diminishing daylight here in the Queen City, but there's one more game to play. The Whipsnakes and the Cannons. Nolting looking for Matt Cavanaugh. Back to Nolting, 9 to shoot. Down to 5, down to 4. Marcus Holman, fist bump after the score.
What gorgeous chemistry between Nolting and Holman. You're going to see Nolting kind of beckon for a two-man game. And the trick is in. It comes to a little two-man game. Whoop, never mind. I'm just going to slip this. And that little lead pass, allowing Holman to run into it, gather momentum, and turn the corner.
Last year in year 2, cut down his turnovers, upped his assists. Zed Williams ties the game, so Maryland hasn't had the ball all that much, but able to get the equalizer.
In transition here, I think it was just too early of a rotation up to Zupicic. You can see Van Raphorst fly upfield, and there's just no second slide, no rotation behind the play. You can see Young has to come all the way across the field. And Zupicic, it's not like he's a known commodity from the two.
3 caused turnovers in week 1. Cursed. Over to Matt Cavanaugh. Ryan Drenner probes against the short stick. Working on Bernhardt. His pass comes to Pat Cavanaugh. Steps into one, and Pat Cavanaugh has his first goal as a pro.
Always a special moment, grabbing that ball from the back of the cage as a keepsake. One of many to come for sure. But Drenner tries to force feed the crease, it looked like, and the ball just trickles to Cavanaugh. No hesitation, step down, and he's finally on the board with his first goal.
Nolting using the pick from Holman. Question mark, and a score.
This is what makes him so tricky. 2020, last year, 20 plus goals, 20 plus assists, only player in the league to do it. So I'm gonna play you as a passer. I'm gonna stay glued off ball. Okay, fine. I'm gonna get to my spot. You're not gonna prevent that because I go 6'2", 210. So I'm gonna get there. And then if you try to push me out, I'll just go with that pressure, question mark, and bury it.
Shot on the run, it bangs in. That's Colin Heacock, 2-time PLL All-Star.
He brings a big physical dodging presence to this midfield. And the left-hander just sweeps all the way across the field. Shrugs off his on-ball defender, and then the slide by Ethan Rawl, he just runs through that as well. And there you see the physical dominance. You know, Rawl tries to slide. Heacock's just too much for him.
Now, we wondered what would Heacock be last year in 8 games with the Chrome. Only had 2 goals.
How much?
Alone, your pipe.
Rambo against Eppel. Rambo looking to get to that left hand. Spun back to the right, fires with the right and scores.
And just another breakdown defensively for the Cannons. You can't double team the ball and then leave it. So you can see Rambo. Fairman's gonna come over, double team, so Eppel recovers and then Fairman leads it. So if I'm Eppel, it's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, I was fine there. I didn't really need a double team, but if you come, you gotta talk me through what you're doing there.
Here's Zed Williams. behind the back, post-up goal.
The PA announcer took the words out of my mouth, Anish. Are you kidding me? When Williams drives up this left side, it's either a question mark or behind the back. And Van Raphorst guessed wrong. Once he gets to this spot, he knows his hands are free. He can whip that over his shoulder and use Van Raphorst as a screen. No shot for Kirst on that ultra.
TJ Malone matched up with Bryce Young.
Go!
On the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, and he continues his torrid start in the PLL.
It's too easy. This is just too easy. If I'm TJ Malone, I'm like, really? It's just a simple two-man game behind the goal. A big little action. You got to work through this. You got to communicate through it. Jacoboy sets a solid pick, but where's the off-ball help? Where's the slide? Total breakdown defensively. And credit Malone for doing everything right, but just that's way too easy.
2 goals in 29 seconds for the Whipsnakes. A 4-0 run for Maryland. And a timeout by Brian Holman with 8:22 to go in this first half.
Let's go! Good job, baby.
Now back up top to Connor Kirst. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Holman, catch, release, cash.
How was Pat Cavanaugh gonna fit into this offense? Coming from the box, Jim Mitchell, one of the most creative minds. It took him a week, but you could see how Cavanaugh is attacking and operating from multiple areas of the field. Here they put him behind, you're gonna slide to him, pop away from pressure. I'll just find the reigning attackman of the year. High heat, Cannons climb back to 1-1.
Yeah, Bryce Young tried to deny Malone. Malone through traffic. Ball had a little English, moral. Feet in front, Malone, doorstep, slam dunk.
Nice little look by Jackson Morrill. Picked up late last season in a trade with Chrome, now Atlas. But Malone just kind of parks on the crease, and the Cannons lose him in their recovery. So he had that initial dodge, went to the cage, nothing happened. Morrill finds him, and then a little English, little twister there.
Matt Cavanaugh, shaded by Zapatello, the rookie out of Maryland, 3rd overall pick. Comes back up top. Matt Campbell against Ledman. Knowlting, Holman, bounces it in.
Just simple lacrosse here for Cannons. We're just gonna get a dodge down the alley here. You're gonna get a little bit of support, easy throw in front, and then watch Holman inside. He's always so active. He's gonna find the soft spot in the Whipsnakes defense. There's the slide by Muller, you push it ahead. Holman finds little space on that near pipe, flashes his stick. Knowlton throws that ball with a nice slow pace, a catchable ball, allowing Holman to track it, and then gets that stick back to the inside. That's
Kenny Brower up on the high wing. It's not like one of those guys who's got to be in a certain spot. He's comfortable anywhere on the field.
But my counter to that is he loves to play in the gray as Campbell buries one low angle. But just to finish the point, Cavanaugh thrives in kind of the scramble situations, the transition situations. That gray matter, he excels at. I'm just a little surprised the Cannons haven't floated it through 2 games, especially today. Week 1 fine. let me see like a 5-minute stretch. Let me see a 5-minute stretch. Campbell, low angle, no problem. We got a tie ball game here. We were waiting for Campbell to come and show up today. He finally finished one off.
Kavanaugh, the 6th overall pick. Best player in the history of Notre Dame lacrosse. Nolting, best player in the history of High Point lacrosse. 3-time SoCon Player of the Year. Up top, Holman steps into one. Bullseye. That's a 2.
Another play that demonstrates the chemistry between Nolting and Holman, and Holman's off-ball prowess. You're gonna just get a little hedge here from Muller. A little hedge, and Holman's just gonna drift to this backside. And Nolting is gonna identify, he's gonna see this the whole time, and then lead Holman to glory. So Muller starts to hedge there, loses Holman for a half second. And Holman drifts, creates space, and then just uncorks one.
That's the 3rd time Nolting has found Holman. Pointer for the Cannons. Last week, they took 9 twos, only made 1. Part of that was they got down big early to the Atlas, and you got to start hunting 2s.
Find your guy!
Nolting to the cutter, Verduro, the rookie from Georgetown, by way of Princeton.
And another beautiful feed by Nolting. I got him unofficially as 4 on the day. The off-ball movement of Cannons continues. Nolting's got his defender hung up, and Verduro just a backdoor cut with pace, with speed. That little hitch to get Krebs off of his line. Cannons 3 goals in 23 seconds. Maryland, again, they just need some sort of juice play, some sort of energy play.
Verduro, who scored his first goal as a pro earlier. Pat Kavanaugh weaving through, takes a hit from Heacock. No flag at the end, the goal is good. 2nd of the day.
Big L. Hell yeah.
We were looking for juice. You know the Kavanaughs have always got it. Second opportunity on this possession. I mean, he runs through like, I don't know, 3 or 4 guys. Heacock's lucky that that wasn't a flag, clearly after the fact. But that little kind of pump and hitch.
Where did Heacock go to school?
Maryland.
Where did Kavanaugh go?
Golden Domer.
On your right!
The Whips haven't shot it much better either. Nolting, feet in front, and that's Ryan Drenner. Cannon starting to pull away.
With 1 on the shot clock. Know the situation. Nolting knows. Low clock, good time to jam it inside. Little action inside. Everyone reacts to the Holman cut. Drenner just hesitates for a half second and then exploits the area directly in front of the cage before finishing with a nifty twister. Nolting almost handcuffed him a little bit. Incredible handle and then finished by Drenner.
Along with a helper. Wanted cursed. There's Kavanaugh like a banshee on those ground balls. Nolting, Drenner, another one. 6 dimes for Asher Nolting. Drenner 2nd of the game.
And I know it was a ho-hum ground ball, but that's why I think Kavanaugh's got to be out there, is because when the ball's on the turf, you know Kavanaugh's going to be around it, and then when he picks it up, you know he's going to make the smart play and exploit any sort of advantage. And in this case, it was getting the guy that is dishing helpers left and right tonight. Nolting has been on fire.
Not really possess the ball. Cannons have had a massive possession advantage in terms of time of possession, plus 18 on shots, and now they're just pouring it on. It's like a substitute teacher trying to host attention.
The onslaught continues. Campbell with his second of the day. And this is somebody that typically is going to get that long pole matchup. And that nice little pick by Pat Cavanaugh. Actually, it is pole to pole. And Squires is just late jumping out on that. And Campbell doesn't need a lot of airspace to get his hands free.
Rambo's had a quiet evening. He's got a short stick matchup trainer, draws the slide. They should get one here, and they do. It's Keegan Khan.
Good action here by Whipsnakes offensively. They get the switch that they want. And somehow Rambo, this is an incredible catch by Khan. This feed by no stretch was kind of right on his stick.
Was the headliner and the showstopper and the scene stealer last night as Morrill gets a goal. Ryan, a rookie class for Denver. We were impressed by Graham Bundy's ability as a playmaker, a dodger. I mean, he could have won the game, hit the post a couple of times. And then Luke Weirman, what he did to Sisselberger at the faceoff X. There's some pieces there. The question is, when Logan Wisnauskas comes back, what do you do?
Yeah, how do you fit him in as we take one more look at this Morrill goal? How do you fit him in and then just to build positively on the rookie class? Zawada had a nice game last night too.
13-8 now. Well, these are not all garbage time goals when goal differential matters, as Rambo gets one and a flag comes in.
No, and to build on that, as we get this foul call, Rambo's going to turn the corner after the Khan throws back. That's a hold right there on Epple. But, you know, coming into today, the Cannons, their point differential was -7 after getting just blown out by Atlas. So they've got to maintain as much of this lead as they can. These late.
Big second half by the Cannons.
Heads up. I think that one on the roof over here, Anish.
It's going to be an adventurous souvenir for somebody, but the Cannons woke up in the second half. They started firing